or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the I Am Mitzi Show. It's all about health and wellness for us, spirit, mind, and body. I'm Zephyr, the Medicure Doctor, and we have Malika, a breath of fresh air. You know, every week, every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to bring you some information, one way or the other, about one thing or the other. It will pertain to health, though, and how we can improve on some things. We sure have a great topic today. Yeah, we have a great topic today. It's really titled, What's That Smell? We're going to discuss body odors. We need to really understand the body's physiological functions and how it works so that we can better work along with it instead of against it. So we're going to be talking about some body odors and stuff. So Malika, tell me now. I know we all have some experience somewhere in a store, going into a stall after somebody, all kind of stuff. We smell all kinds of stuff out there. What's going on out there in this world?
We have there's a lot of different body odors out there. Okay, so we have natural body odors, our own personal smell when we are like optimally healthy. Okay. And then we have our underarm odors, and we have odors that can come up in our genital regions, our groin area. And you can even have odors behind your ears. You can have odors if you have a lot of skin and you have folds, you can have odors in between the folds. Yeah. So you can have odor coming off your mouth, off your tongue, and the odor can even be coming out of your gut. So you can have odor between your toes. That cheese, that cheese smell. So yes, definitely I've had experience, with other people's body odors, and of course it's not always pleasant when you're smelling somebody else's body odor, because it just might not vibe with you.
I know. You know what else too? You see when them seniors get real old, especially like in a nursing home, you notice they have an odor. And I feel that's really due to maybe a lack of cleansing. Maybe not for
it's a lack of hygiene,
but the people who are responsible.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I feel like there is an issue with the products that they use for hygiene in nursing homes and on the hospital floors for long-term patients. Yes. I think the products that they're using are not conducive to actually cleaning someone and letting the body do what it does, letting the skin do what it does. Right. We have a healthy amount of bacteria on our skin that is good for us. But when there's an imbalance, we can get odors and other things. So, So also odors, we have odors. There's our poop, our pee, vaginal discharge. Our different fluids in our body, our saliva can smell, and so. But these smells, even though a lot of people are like, ew. Oh, you stink, whatever, or you go in the bathroom behind somebody and they're like, wait, give it 45 minutes,
Yeah, right. After the fact.
Right. Right. These odors are important because they tell us a lot of information about our own bodies. You can't
Yeah.
really do much about somebody else's odor unless it's your child or maybe a spouse or a close friend or close family member. You can like talk to them about it, but you can't actually do anything for their hygiene, but you can do a lot for your own hygiene. And
Yeah.
just by paying attention to what odors are going on with your body, you can tell if your body is having a difficult time internally too.
Yeah. And I feel orders are a body's way of alert. It's a
Mhm.
notification. The same way we got notification on we phone, and every time you hear beep, beep, we looking, we
Mhm.
texting, we talking, right?
Right.
So when our bodies are sending these notifications, why are people not responding in that way? Why do they choose to cover it up? Now, I do want to discuss some things. Body odors, sometimes people are just unclean and they may not even have the knowledge or awareness of how to better clean or just better take care of themselves. So that's one thing. But let's talk about the people who do know and just don't like to bathe. It's like when you sit down on the toilet, don't you smell all that hot fume coming up? Right? Come
Right.
on now. Underarm.
Yes.
Now, I don't know. The last time I wore underarm deodorant probably been about a decade ago.
Mhm.
I don't purchase any anymore. I do have some, emergency. It's all natural though, and it does not have aluminum, and I make my own.
Mhm.
So, and it's not really an underarm deodorant. It's not something I put on and leave on, but I know when I'm cleansing, I can make sure I cleanse these areas, extra areas, because see, we have glands.
Mhm.
We have glands that have a lot to do with what's coming out, that's smelling your, out of your pores and out of your skin, out of your underarm, armpit, groin area, and all that stuff. Stinking toe, all of these things, it's a collection of something. Sometimes when someone have a terrible chest cold, that big hard cough bark, and when they're coughing up and spitting up, is that blue green mucus that has a smell.
Mhm.
If you have candida in the mouth or just a lot in your body overgrowth, you're going to smell it. Your
Yes.
tongue may feel heavy and thick even. So you have to just kind of be aware and don't brush these things under the carpet as if it's not something that you need to pay attention to. So specifically, the body, it has two gland system that pertains to sweats. The eccrine and the what's the other one again? The ecrine and the apocrine. So the eccrine is primarily sweat. So if you go jogging, you're working out, anything like that, and you see you have a sweat that comes, it's that gland that makes that happen to stimulate that. So a lot of times body odors may be medically connected because pharmaceuticals, you'd be surprised the way it make you stink and things like that. And we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But there are a lot of medical conditions that people are unaware of. And I wouldn't call menopause particularly a medical condition because it's not. It's just a woman's phase cycle. So when a woman is in her menopause cycle, she's going to have a lot more sweating at night. And I know we discussed dehydration in one of our topics before, but we're going to cover that again right now because when we're losing all of this sweat and perspiration and all that, that's why it's very important to continue to drink water because things have to be flushed out. And a lot of things are jetted through the pores, especially odors, right?
Mhm.
So we have to realize that there are a lot of symptoms in our body. And when it comes to the point where it's external, it's an alert. Pay attention to that. Now, when we are, everybody don't sweat the same, by the way. Some people's sweat is very mild. Some people's sweat is very pungent.
Right.
And that says something about either what you're eating or what you're drinking or something as well. It has a lot to do with something else in the body, your whatever is imbalanced as far as, So there are two main sweat glands. The eccrine glands, we'll talk about that one first because it's a simple sweat gland. That's all it does. And it's it's what you would say is indispensable because without it, we wouldn't be able to produce that sweat. You know, people used to always speak about hogs, pigs that don't have sweat glands and
Mm-hmm.
why all waste and toxins remain inside
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have no sweat glands to sweat it out. So all the toxins remain inside. So just keep that in mind, dears, when you're eating it.
Right.
It's not really serving you any purpose. You're eating something that doesn't even have a sweat system of its own. What does that mean? All the toxins are inside. All right. So if you needed a reason, there's one. Also, I would say, and the eccrine gland, it promotes sweat directly onto the skin. And once it gets onto the skin, it has this brief evaporation point, and that is what cools the system. Okay, so humans, we have, amongst the mammals, we have the highest densities of these type of glands, the highest densities, right? And they're usually located alongside hair follicles all throughout the skin, right? So if you know how many hair follicles you have, so just think about it, start counting. That's how many glands you have all over the skin to help us to release and regulate. It's called a thermoregulator.
Yes.
The eccrine gland is what really helps the body to maintain a core temperature. And if anything is alerted and it goes up above it, that gland produces what it needs to produce so it can push out some sweat and cool the body. Right? So let me see what else I want to say about this so you all can take some notes. I hope some of you have a pen and paper because take notes and do your research, further research. So, and let me see. They are indispensable. We need them, right? And they're also, and I think I mentioned this, they're interspersed with the hair follicles. That's the word I wanted to really say, interspersed, because it means it's hair there and everywhere. It's kind of just scattered around, but it falls in line with that, which is cool because those follicles have pores and something has to be released out the pores. And I think it's a good match for those glands to be interspersed with the hair follicles. But the process which allows the body to, let me see, where is it here? Oh, here it is. Homeostasis is what it's called. That's when the eccrine gland helps to stabilize the body temperature. You all need to look these words up and learn something because this is our body. Our bodies are amazing. Our minds are amazing. Our energy, spirit is amazing. So learn how to be the best body you can be here on earth, the healthy body. And when someone transition, that can be very healthy, even if they transition from something that people say, oh, they wasn't bad health. No. Not because someone had a heart attack means bad health. Some people have heart murmurs. Some people birth with, they had heart problems, weak hearts. Different things happen. I've known women who transitioned during childbirth. I've known women who transitioned shortly after childbirth because their heart gave out. So it's not that people are unhealthy. So when you see yourself as being healthy, all right, and if you have these orders, retract that word for a moment and reassess what's going on. Healthy means that you're always looking into the facts, those notifications that our bodies are sending us, right? And making sure we're balancing things out, because if we don't do it now, somewhere down the line, we're going to pay for it, right? Now, The eccrine glands, it derives from embryonic ectoderm. Those are just the formation of it. I like to break it down to the science, right? So,
Yeah.
you
The
know,
science so people can understand.
yeah, and it allows for temperature control. When the body temperature rises for whatever reason, these glands is what respond. So we have to know how we sweat and why we sweat, right? Because our body has a natural built-in cooling system. And on top of all of that, when we're speaking about an eccrine gland and things like that, let's also add the adrenals in there, because a lot of things, and I'm about to cover that in the apocrine gland. That's the one we're really going to talk about, right?
Mhm.
And we are going to cover that stress and stuff too. But the adrenals and these glands are hand in hand, because one of the responsibilities for the adrenals, which sits on the kidneys, by the way, is to control body's temperature, control stress levels. When the anxiety and all that stuff going through the roof, well, the adrenals is what puts out those hormones to calm things down.
Mhm.
When you're excited, scared, panic, fright,
Mhm.
excitement, whatever is raising that, whoo, our adrenals have to calm things down from there. So the adrenal and these glands actually work hand in hand. And I think if you have a challenge with one, then look into the other. Try to up your maintain and restoration of the other. So what I'm going to do, we're going to cover the apocrine gland in a moment. I'm going to get into that with you. So I wanted to know if Malika, if we want to share anything else on that, Malika, and then I'll go into the next gland there.
Okay, so for the eccrine gland, some people have a condition. Oh, I'm, I do often have difficulty pronouncing it, but I think it's
The
called
hyper,
hypophoresis.
yeah,
Hyperphoresis. Hyp, um,
yeah,
well, some people they sweat so much, and they're sweating from the eccrine glands, not
yes,
their apocrine glands. They're sweating from the
right,
so they don't these don't tend to smell unless they are stay sweaty because the
right.
smell comes from the bacteria
Sweaty
on.
hands and all that.
Yes, their hands get sweaty. They sweat through their clothes often, through their on
Yep,
their back, and they're not even working out. So they sweat on their feet. So there's this benefit, as Medicare doctor was saying, from these glands to help cool our body down. So when you're exercising and you start to sweat and you can feel the coolness brush over you, it's actually the evaporation of the sweat from your skin, and then you
yeah,
begin to feel cool. And so it's really important. So sometimes you might shake somebody's hand and they can be nervous. So nervousness can
yep,
be caused by different hormones circulating through your body because of your nervousness, right? So that can cause a hyper phoresis, which is sweating, increased sweating. And so sometimes people have clammy hands
yep,
because they've been sweating. So when you like shake somebody's hand and you get that clammy cold hand and you're like, oh my gosh, that's sweat. But you can rest assured that this is not the kind of sweat that causes body odor. um, that is
right.
attributed to causing body odor typically. So just be mindful of um, what your body is doing, if you're sweating. And if you're not sweating in a situation where you should be, like if you exercise and you don't sweat, if you're in a sauna and you don't sweat, or if you go into a steam room and you don't sweat, then you,
Yep.
you need to get that checked out, because our bodies are naturally designed to cool us by sweating.
Yes.
So,
Yes. And I've had some client they said they don't sweat.
mm-hmm,
So I put them on a regimen for 3 months and they started sweating again.
mm-hmm,
So, a lot of things are clogged up sometimes.
yes, yes.
Yeah, a lot of things are clogged up sometimes.
A lot of times, yes. I used to not sweat. So even when I was younger, I didn't sweat a lot. Okay, now when I got, into my 40s or my late 30s, I started to notice that when I would go to the sauna, my legs wouldn't really sweat. And when I was hot, when it's outside, my legs didn't sweat because my legs used to sweat, but I never
Yeah.
would see the little drops on my legs. And I was just kind of curious about it, but not very curious. And then uh, as I started getting more into my health, I started to get concerned about it, that my legs weren't sweating. And so the more that I started to move, the more I started to drink more water. I increased my water intake, and I did
Yep.
a couple of cleanses with some herbs. And this was over a period of like a year and a half. I didn't just jump in it
Yeah.
and do this. This was, planned out. So when I
Yeah.
did that, and then as I started to go along exercising, I noticed, oh, that sweat is kicking in now. Now my legs sweat.
Yeah.
So, be mindful.
Yeah.
Body will tell you what's
Yeah.
going on with it, and what's not going on with it.
And it's all the time too. For instance, like I said, I don't buy underarm deodorant or anything. I don't do any antiperspirant. And I'm not sure if people really realize that the companies put aluminum in there because what it does is block the eccrine gland from doing what it's supposed to do naturally.
Mm-hmm. And the epicrine gland.
Why use something to block the body's natural process? That's what pharmaceuticals does.
And so
It
people
blocks.
are so used to it. People they're
Yeah.
so offended by body odor that nobody wants to smell it. And I get it. I don't want to smell, a funk
Me neither. I don't want to be
from
smell
not
no
being
funk.
clean. Right. I don't want to smell
Yeah.
funk from you not being clean.
No.
But people are just so afraid of smells, period, that people don't even stop to consider what they're putting on their body. So a
Look,
lot of people don't know.
how many people house you probably been to, or not even just have to be in anybody's house, but how many people they go to these stores. I'm not going to call any particular one, but they get all them little sprays, spritzer,
Mm-hmm.
this and that. They always
Yep.
spraying and spritzing. And what is all that for?
Yes.
One thing I love is smelling good, and it's all natural. I use all natural.
Right.
Anybody know me? No, yeah. She always smelling good. I stay. You don't have to worry about me wearing no Chanel or nothing like that. I don't need none of that crap. I don't need none of that. I have natural oils.
Yeah.
I have free. Look, this is my myrrh, baby. This is my myrrh, y'all.
Get the
All right,
going.
myrrh from
Our
Northern
myrrh
Africa,
is-
straight, live, and direct. Okay, I'm a purist. I love
Mhm.
natural vibrations. And when you start speaking about myrrh and kush, frankincense, and all them things, sandalwood, you're speaking my
Yeah.
language.
Yes, I wear frankincense and myrrh. It's an oil.
Yeah.
It's just the oil.
Yeah, you're speaking
It's
my language.
so potent. I love it. I can't.
Yeah, and it's all natural.
Yes.
From natural saps and stuff. So, but anyway, formulate whatever works for you, dear, whatever works for you. But don't think you're gonna be spraying on stuff, because if I don't wear any fragrance, I'm still gonna smell good.
Yes. Yes.
It all depends on what you eat as well.
Yes. Oh,
How? You know what?
mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I just remembered something.
I was just gonna say it. What you eat matters. Okay, so I'm gonna share a part of my journey. So back in 2015, I started to, because we're talking about odors here, right? So
Yes.
I'm gonna put you guys in on a little peekaboo of my world, right? So back in 2015, I started to experience a body odor, and I didn't know where it was coming from. So, I just was like, okay, let me kick up my showers. And that didn't help. I was taking a shower morning and night. And I'm like, okay, after I get out the shower, in like 10 minutes, I still smell. And I'm like, okay, something's not right. Something's not right. At that time in my life, I was experiencing a lot of stress. I was experiencing racial prejudice at my job, and the possibility of being fired. They were actively attempting to get information on me to fire me. They were attempting to say that I was sleeping because I was praying. At the time, I was a Muslim. So anyway, I would be doing my prayer thing. So they were trying to set me up. So under that stress, and I was on my health journey already, but I still did eat turkey and chicken at that time, as far as, and fish as far as meats are concerned. And then I also had started eating more greens, leafy greens, and drinking more water. So I was on my health journey already, cutting back on the chicken and turkey, but still eating them anyway. The stress, which being under that stress, made the hormones in my body start to kick up and act up. And so the
Mhm.
odor that I smelled, it was like onions, you guys. Like literally, and I'm not an onion eater. I
Oof.
didn't eat I didn't eat
It's
onions. So
the sulfur compound. Yep.
yeah, so it
Your
wasn't that
body.
I was eating onions or something like that, right? But it was the stress. And so my body was letting me know this is too much. This is too much. Okay. This is too much. And so, oh, there's a comment. Oh, I didn't see it. I missed
You
it.
go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm gonna read it if you
Okay.
like,
So
or you can read
so
it.
my body was saying that this is too much, and I needed to get down to the bottom of it so that I could deal with the issue, because of the
Yeah.
odor. The odor was there to get my attention. Like, hello,
Tension. Right.
yes. And because it wasn't going away after a shower, and 10 minutes later, I was still onions were coming, and the onion smell was everywhere the apricot glands are were. And this is why I want to tell
Yep.
the story, so that when
Okay. And we're gonna get into it.
the
Yep. I'm
apricot
gonna speak
glands,
about the
you guys
sulfur
can understand
compound.
yourself, right? So that's why I'm sharing this, is like kind of like a little intro into that part.
Yeah.
So the odor was only coming from an apricot gland sections of my body, which
Yeah.
you'll find out in a minute from the Medicare doctor. So
Yeah.
I had to get down to the bottom of it. She tried to give me some medication. I ain't about that life. So I just went on the cleanse and the cleanse and the cleanse and the cleanse. And eventually the smell and the smell and the smell went away. And it just came to be my natural smell. So
Yeah.
let's see, Songbird Melody. Greetings, beautiful. She says, peace, goddess. LOL. I just tuned in and saw my sister up here dropping knowledge. All right. Yes, she is
Big up
dropping
yourself,
knowledge. Yeah.
Songbird Melody. I'm so happy because you came across my mind yesterday, and I said, I'm gonna give you a call. I was hoping to get to that today, but I've been a little busy, and you see where I'm at now. So we can wrap later, or we can wrap tomorrow. That's how we do. I'm happy to see you and give thanks for vibing with us today. Okay, yeah, and maybe we can have you on one of our panels. I'm gonna send you the schedule, and you can see where you want to fit yourself in, because I know you love to drop some jewels yourself. So give thanks, Songbird Melody. Big up yourself. Much
Yes.
love.
For
So
watching.
what I am gonna do real quick,
Mhm.
we're gonna go ahead and do a little station break thing, right? First, I want to say big up my niece Jamisha. Jamisha, happy Earth Cycle today, baby. Happy Earth Cycle. You done cycle one, you're gonna cycle the next. Wishing you many, many, many more. And also wishing you many gifts of peace, love, and light. All right, and good health. No forget about that. All right, but yeah, we there at the Powerhouse Radio, and we do want to pick up the Powerhouse Radio because that's why we're here. We're one of the programs on the Powerhouse Radio, so we give thanks for the opportunity, right? And big up yourself, Lady D. I can just say they have a couple shows that's on the Powerhouse Radio, so you can go ahead and check them out. Subscribe so you can see when your favorite show is coming up. All right, they have a Wednesday with Let's Gripe. Let's Gripe, I believe, is at 7 p.m., right? Eastern Standard Time. And they are on for about an hour. And you can call in if you want to gripe about something, especially if you had a long day and you just want to gripe. It'll be an outlet for you. Look, I'm sorry it's only on a Wednesdays, but people gripe and they call me when they want to gripe. They be like, girl, you got a moment? And I have to sit there and listen just so they can get off their chest. I don't really try to absorb a whole lot, though. I try to just bounce that stuff off. So I don't take it in. But On Wednesdays, you do have Let's Gripe. On Thursdays, we have the Kids Way at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at 8 p.m., you have the Lady D and Mama Acid breaking it down on Reasoning Thursday. Yeah, anything we're going, when I say anything goes on Reasoning Thursday, they really speak about current events, things that's happening now, things that's happening, it could be if something happened yesterday, is a major factor all over the news, all over the world, and things like, yeah, they most likely they'll be discussing it for that week. All right. And they're on at 8 p.m. on from 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. But let me tell you, they be going up until 10. And you may not want to miss it this week because they're having a discussion on with I can't remember this brother's name, but he's a 5%er and he's gonna, share knowledge on his space, his, what he does, how he does it, his perception of things, how whatever meaning he has associated with whatever, whether it's human, mankind, and all that stuff. Yeah, he's going to break it down. So there's going to be a 2-hour show on this Thursday. I just want to go ahead and put it in there because I had privy to the information. And I looked at the show last week, and that's what they said. It's going to be on for 2 hours. And I think if you want to jump in on that would be great. You can always in the comment section ask some questions and stuff like that. Then we have Saturday AM with Brother Blair, that Gospel Blair segment there. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Lady D from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. And man, music. When I say music. And if you're my age, them time there, and she start dropping some jewels from them time there, yeah, you gonna stop what you're doing for a minute and start shaking a little this and shaking a little that or a step or something or like a skank or something, because that's how she be breaking this thing down, man. I'm telling you, right? So, and of course on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, you have Malika Breath of Fresh Air and myself, Zephyr the Medical, your daughter, here with I Am Meta. All right. So I done give you a whole heap of things. So guess what? Do us a favor, go on, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like or something. Come on now, we're trying to build here. We're trying to build. And if you have a request, specific request about medical, any topic that we particularly cover, if you can kindly send an inquiry, if you would like, send it to the Powerhouse Radio. That's DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. Right. And also, let me just don't mention when there's music like Lady D music segment on Saturday, it's not on YouTube, it's not live, it's music. So you have to go through the station, the powerhouseradio.com. And for the ones who can't view anything and are out there just listening, thank you. Thank you for your listening ear and thank you for being here. And hopefully, if you have inquiries, you can send it on to us and we would love to respond to you. All right. But give us some loves, man. Give us some love. Give us some like or something. Right. Okay. So let's talk about the apocrine gland. All right. Now, the apocrine gland it's pretty much it's found in the skin, but it's more specified. It's in specific locations. You have the armpits, the groins, the breasts, the eyelids, right? The ears. The apocrine glands in the ears is what help to create the earwax. That's what protect the ears. You see, we have things protect our eyes. Different fluids and different things protect our eyes. So those glands, you get the eye dry. There are things that's going to secrete what we need. And another thing about that, the apocrine gland has more of a fatty, milky type secretion. Unlike the acrine gland that just really it's pretty much like more water, I will say. It's not really the fatty substance as the apocrine gland, right? So there's a difference. So which means one is actually heavier. Now, this gland, when we're creating breast milk and stuff like that, the apocrine glands in the breast, they drop their little fatty, what do you call it? It's a fat droplet into the breast milk. How you think babies that use breast milk or suckle on breast milk sometimes are just real nice and healthy and thick, right? Because they have that natural process of what they need in their bodies coming in. Also, most of the glands in the skin, the apocrine gland, most of them that are in the skin and armpits, groins, I always get it, the areolae, the little dark
The
spot around them.
areola.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, people say they kind of pronounce it different, but the last letter is really like pronounced as an E, the upside down E. So it's, but these words are really, they're rooted from other words like apo. Um, apo means away, and crane means to separate, right? So, and that's all of these words have root meaning. And you know what? I actually had the root meaning for this one here, because ecrine means to secrete. That means it means to secrete, and that's exactly what it does, right? So, but the apocrine gland is in the skin. They're actually the scent glands. They're actually the scent glands. So when there's a secretion, it usually comes with an odor. If these glands are secreting, it most likely will come with some kind of odor. It has a scent, right? So let me see here. Put this there. All right, here we are. And I think you mentioned already, Malika, sweat itself don't really have an odor, but the odor occurs. The odor occurs when bacteria comes into contact with the perspiration from the apocrine gland release. So what's happening now is when you smell those piercing underarm odors, when you smell that, check it. Do you know the pH system has a balance? There's a balance for alkaline and there's a balance for acid. And please, I know there are people who say they're strictly alkaline, and I'm not. I'm going to balance acid and alkaline. Why?
Yes.
Because my body needs the acid.
Yes.
It's not battery acid that I put in the car.
Right.
And if any one of you are still drinking Coca-Cola, you might as well put battery acid in there. Right? Right? So what I'm saying is there are certain orders that are released when what's going on inside of our body is really, there's no balance there. Let's say there's someone who drinks a lot of alcohol, man or woman. You're going to have some orders. You're going to have some, your urine going to smell like it when you go to the bathroom and poop. All right. I just use, I know it's a kiddie word, but all right. A lot of people out there are Simple Simon. So they need the Simple Simon. Right. Y'all know I got jokes. Anyway, it's just the fact that when the pH levels are too acidic, you're going to smell a lot of odors. You're going to smell it from below. You're going to smell it from above. You're going to smell it because it's their body is saying, hey, it's too acidic in here. Mm-hmm. There's a young lady that came to the supermarket one time. Now, if I'm going to run in the supermarket, especially when I have to run errands, and if there's someone, especially elders, if they need me to run to the supermarket, but when I have to go there, I was on one side in the produce section on one side. So, the door is, I can see the door and the cash registers and everyone up there. So anyway, some people, most of you come in, they come straight to the produce section. It's just, you start that way and you go around. And 2 or 3 women came in, and they came and stood on the other side of the fruit aisle thing where we were. And all I know is a whiff of that breeze came across this way.
Wow.
And I looked to see where it was coming from. And I noticed the women that was standing over there. Long time, you could have even say, hey, sis, let me talk to you now. Hey, give me a call. Let me talk to you about whatever. And some people used to be very open, but people are really offended now. You can't even tell them they stink.
No, you can't.
I have some regimens that can help you with that. You can't even do that. Mm-mm. Because they're not open to it. It's like they don't care. You can't tell me you don't smell it. But the thing is, it's a piercing smell. You
Yes.
know when that piercing smell like ammonia,
Yeah.
how it's piercing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and even though the body even have a slight bit of ammonia too, that's why when these things build up and get too much, if you're
Mhm.
wearing underwears, you're gonna see as if it's have a little like if almost as if somebody brushed bleach on it because it's too acidic. Why you think when someone is wearing shirts and the underarm get all
It's
yellow and all? What do you
weird.
think
Yep.
that is?
Yep.
It's not natural, and it's not your underarm deodorant. It's the stuff that's coming out of your glands, and it's
Yep.
speaking with you to say, hey, because they are bacterias that that come into contact with this perspiration. It depends on what bacteria is at the skin level. So if you're not cleaning your skin, not cleaning yourself, and not cleansing and showering and bathing, you know, and I know there's some people who don't like bathe. Like they really don't like bathe. And sometimes they just jump in the shower, but they can't even get into all of their compartments. I think you mentioned earlier when people have a couple stacks here and there and they don't get in. But I'm like this. And they just give excuses why they don't get any baths and all this. But just pay one of your friends, right, who got a jacuzzi, pay them some money and tell them, say, look, I want to put some free and clear all detergent in here, and I gonna let it jump in there. And you see them jets around the jacuzzi, just go put up your underarm like this, raise up all your parts and compartment, and let them jets get in there with some good soap and wash out. Because I know enough people, y'all don't like bathe. Y'all don't like bathe. The only time I can remember, I'm gonna tell you this: when a woman is pregnant, I feel a lot of times we don't feel like bathing half the time. By the time you feel like you want to get up and bathe, the baby's like, man, I want to sleep. Go lay back down or something else. But I think that's the only time I've experienced like I had to drag myself to bathe.
Right.
I really had to drag myself to bathe. I may have gone one day or so, and I'm like, man, I can get in the shower or something,
Right.
but we have to drag ourselves to bathe. But that gland is really very important. Pay a lot of attention to it
It
because
is.
it tells you the longer you keep that perspiration connected with that bacteria, it's going to get louder and louder and louder and louder.
Yes.
That's why if someone don't bathe for 2, 3, 4 days, especially if out in the woods stranded somewhere, but whatever. I mean, even there you can find a lake. But I'm just saying, some people don't bathe for days, but your scent gets worse every day, especially if you're still eating the stuff that doesn't really benefit you. And I'm not picking on people who are not plant-based. I'm not saying that because even if you are plant-based like myself, I still have to watch what I eat. You see those cruciferous vegetables, them broccolis and cauliflowers and stuff like that? What do you
Hmm.
think produces gas? Brussels
Yeah.
sprout, cabbage, and those things? They produce
Mm,
gas in the body, especially when you have a whole lot of it, when you're eating a whole lot of this kind of stuff.
mm,
So all them air fried cauliflower and this and that, yeah, fine. Usually those people are the ones belching and farting, right?
yes, they
And
are.
also,
Yes. The other thing is you just got to keep it moving. If you just keep your okay. This speaking of that, the odors really, really, really are connected to what we eat. Like for real.
yeah,
Because the protein that's in the sweat is what the bacteria are eating, causing all the
yes,
odor. It's the same
yes,
process in the gut. So when you
yep,
have them foul smelling odor because you gave the bacteria their number one food, their number one dish, in a lot
yep,
of people case, like you said, the cruciferous vegetables or beans,
yep.
certain bacteria will tear that stuff up.
Uh,
They be over there having a barbecue and
yeah,
everything. So
yeah. They have
then
a field
you
day.
gonna know it. You're gonna smell the smoke.
Yeah.
You gonna
And also, you had mentioned something about onions, smell like onions and something earlier because you see, when people garlic and onions. Now, I eat a lot of onions, I eat a lot of garlics, but I don't
Mhm.
have that type of
Smell
smell.
right. Right.
Like some
Yes.
people can eat that stuff literally. I have garlic every single day.
Yeah.
I
I
put it in my
believe it.
green smoothies. I eat 2 cloves at night, a little with a
Mhm.
little. either manuka honey or something. I don't really need it to eat it with it. Sometimes it's a little hot on my tummy, so I'll cool it down with some honey. But
Hot
another
sauce.
thing is, but garlic, yeah, garlic and onions, they release a sulfur-like compound.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it just through the pores. That's why you can smell it. And you know, there are people from Asia,
Yeah.
like even India, they eat a lot of their foods have a lot of seasoning in one dish. It could be 5 dishes here, and all of them have a bunch of seasoning. So they got a lot of them, and you could actually smell in their pores.
They got a lot of
And
herb.
I know a lot of them don't even like to wear on deodorant. They eating all that stuff, not wearing anything, not doing it, and you can actually you're always smelling them.
Okay,
And I don't
speaking about
people.
smelling, right? Um, with what we eat. So when I was on that cleanse after I got after the stressful situation ended at work, I started to come into some peace in my life. And I also was improving my nutrition for my body. I actually got to a point where I didn't have any underarm odor and I didn't have to wear deodorant for a little while. I
Right.
didn't have to because
Yeah.
I wasn't putting my body wasn't producing the protein, the things that the bacteria on the skin surface needed to eat, not in quantity
Yeah.
sufficient to be smelling everywhere. I could
Right.
go for a few days without deodorant. And at that time, when I was using for deodorant, I was only using a lime at that time just to
Yeah.
keep,
Shoes.
you know,
I cut a lime or even a lemon, something you get in the shower,
yeah.
you just rub it up there. And you don't have
Yep.
to do that every day.
Exactly.
I can do that once a week.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because if you
Yes.
try to do it every day,
Yes.
you're gonna see your skin start to peel. So
Wow.
you don't want to be too excessive with it. But if you get the body
No.
order, if you get what's going on inside under control, your body order
Yes.
will be
Well,
controlled. It's a bad
yes.
breath thing. I
Exactly.
haven't had, I don't even have morning breath. Now, I've been eating cilantro and parsley. Yeah, I've been eating cilantro and parsley just most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a little trick Granny taught me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always keep eating it until now. I put it with my cucumbers and things like that. And that's another thing. Cucumbers keep the bodies cool as well. And
Uh-huh.
watermelons, melons, things that have water. Eat more foods with water.
Yeah.
Okay, eat more foods with water as well. But
Yes.
but yeah, there's like people with this morning breath thing. All that is bacteria,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes what's going on in the gut. You ever have something going on in the gut and belch and taste it in your throat, right?
Yeah.
So we have to take it. The gut has to be taken care of
Mm-hmm.
because a lot comes out of that. A lot of imbalances in the body comes out of that. That acidity is one thing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's wicked because a woman, even when her bacteria is off, especially in the vagina, you see
Mm-hmm.
that order there. Young ladies or grown ladies, please, you got to take care of that.
Yeah, that
It's not,
definitely needs to take care of with
yeah, like these are signs the body is saying, hey, do something about this. There's an
mm-hmm.
overgrowth of things. And if there's an overgrowth of even yeast, people might say yeast don't have a smell, but it actually does, depending on what else is combined with. Some people
Mm-hmm.
have yeast in their mouth, in the
Yeah.
scalp, just, in their colon. And I do
Yeah.
have a lot of little remedies to clear all that candida stuff out your colon and stuff too. Like I said, send us a message to powerhouseradio@gmail.com and we'll respond to you. We'll let you know what services we offer and what free consultations we have available. All right. And that'd be cool because guess what? We're going to have to do something about this. So check into some herbs. Make sure you're keeping some of these herbs in your pantry, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have the fennel. Matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
I should have bought my pantry down here because I can pick out
We can
everything:
throw
fennel,
it.
dill, caraway, cardamom, aniseed, clove,
Mm-hmm. Red
clove,
and yellow. Ooh, the
even
clove.
cinnamon.
Ooh, the clove. Ooh, the clove. Mm. Yes.
Yeah, and if anybody needs to know, he's talking about clove, and since you just highlighted it, I'm gonna let you know. Clove. If someone has loose bowels, clove tea. See,
Mm.
my children wasn't on no. Nothing, all of that other stuff. Everything was natural. Everything was natural. I know how to raise the electrolytes. I know how to do all that stuff. So I'm gonna go down
Yeah.
Songbird and read all of this, and then we're gonna get back to Malika so we can wrap it up. Songbird, Melody say yes, yes, most definitely. Goddesses look good. Have you guys heard of golden milk, turmeric, black pepper, cardamom, ginger, cinnamon? Yes, thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
That's
That's
why
the
she's my goddess
bomb.
sister. That's why she's my goddess sister. We're
Yeah.
all herbal alchemists. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're healers. Right? Yeah. So
Yes.
and the better, if you want to be a better healer, make sure you continue to heal yourself
Definitely.
physically, mentally, and spiritually. Things are not always going to be the same. So if it seems like it's all fly and great, that's fine. But something may come and shift us off a little bit, but never lose sight of that. But yeah, there's a lot of things we can use for that. But make sure when you start smelling odors, tend to them right away. If you
Yes.
have to wear underarm their odor just to mask it, then you need to change what you're eating.
Yes.
And also, I have a list of stuff here. The things that can contribute to odors, I'm gonna say it here. Some
Just tell.
prescription drugs, especially
Yep.
breath. Sometimes you'll smell that breath. Alcohol, believe it
Hmm.
or not, stress.
Yes, that's what happened to me. Stress.
Yeah,
School had me
stress
in
and anxiety.
smelling like onions. Had me
Yeah,
smelling.
it promotes different things like that. And also, we spoke about the hyperhidrosis that you were speaking
Yeah.
about. That's excessive
Yes.
sweating. If anyone is dealing with that, primarily it's excessive sweating. It's the same thing, but on a secondary factor as far as hot flashes and things of that nature. Because a hot flash is a natural phase for a woman.
Yeah.
So when we have that, then you're going to feel. And that's another reason why it's important to, if you have your full faculties down there, you're going to actually process through your menopause phase much better than if you had it removed.
Mm.
All right. And we are going to speak about that when we cover womb health. Okay, dearies. All right. Guam Malika.
Yes. Okay, well, let me just wrap it up by saying pay attention to your body odors. Even though many people have embarrassing stories about body odors, or they just feel embarrassed generally about body odors, or they think body odors are disgusting, we've all felt these kind of ways. And the thing is, body odors are the body's natural process to let you know when something is amiss. Okay?
Yes.
When something is off balance, when something ain't right, when the body odors get strong, they become where you can smell it and other people can smell it.
It's like a
There's
bullhorn. It's like body odor over here, body odor. No, literally, it's balling to everybody around you.
oh yeah. So
Those are my
definitely,
feedbacks. I'm gonna send nothing to you. But if you're my friend or family, you already know I'm gonna touch
hey,
bases
I'm
on
gonna
it.
tell
And
you, I'm gonna tell you
yeah,
for sure.
I'm gonna
For
let you
sure.
know. And I'm not gonna insult you about it. I'm gonna say, you
Right,
know what, I can help you with that. I can
right.
put together a regimen and stuff for you. I'm always about the resolve of it. How can we handle it,
Yes.
resolve
And that's awesome. We have people like that in our life. So just be more open to if someone lets you know that you have some body odor, because even though it is a natural process of the body to let you know what's happening, it's not a normal, as in, that's just how you supposed to live your life.
it?
I mean, live your life how you
Right.
want to,
But
but I'm
some
just
people
letting you
do
know
that.
your body can tell you when your life could be living better, and it'll tell you by
Yeah.
the odor.
Some people have
Women,
smelly hands.
some women, yes. So I want to say to the women, ladies, girls, whomever, if you are menstruating, okay, in this world of whatever, if you are menstruating, pay attention to the odor of your menstrual cycle. Smell it, okay?
Yep.
Get the pad when you're about to change to a fresh one and smell it. Smell throughout your
Yep.
whole entire cycle. Get and matter of fact, smell your own discharge. But you know why? People might be like, "Oh, that's gross, nasty." No,
But
because
it's
your
yours.
smell of your blood can the smell of your menstrual blood can tell you if something else is going on wrong
Yeah,
in your body.
in the
It
body.
can tell you. You will have a regular scent when your health, when you're healthy, your body's running optimally. You're gonna have it's gonna have a scent, of course, it's gonna smell. But if you leave it too long, of course, it's gonna have a different kind of smell. Okay, we're not talking
Yeah.
about that smell. I'm talking about when it's fresh and you smell it. Get used to it, track it over time so that you can understand, okay, is this my natural smell or not? And then as
Right.
you're changing your way of eating, you will be able to tell your cycle blood if it's smelling different or not. Try to go for a week without deodorant and see what it smells like. Change your
Yeah.
eating. If you're transitioning to a different way of eating, a healthier way of eating, um see what it's like to go without deodorant first thing in the morning, and then put your deodorant on so that you're not like walking around
Just so
blowing a
you would know.
bullshit.
Well, at least walk with it, because I know people have to keep
Right.
that.
Because when
And
you're
if they forget it,
transitioning, right. Yeah, it
you
could be
can
a
tell.
mess.
I've had people say, I forgot to put my underarm deodorant on today. Excuse me. And to me, I just kind of chuckle because I'm saying, shoot, I would have just stopped by CVS and grabbed one. Or
Just
I'm not going to make announcements. But another
oh,
thing,
snap.
you have to leave those fried foods, all them French fried chicken, fried this, that, and all the stuff that don't even have fiber. You see all that meats and stuff you're eating that don't have fiber because they don't have fiber dairies. That's why when you eat it, it stays all, that's the kind of sludge and stuff that gets on into the inside of your organs, your colon, intestine, and so all that sludge on the
Mhm.
walls. What do you think all that is? All in the liver, all these, because everything has to be processed. So it leave all this sludge behind, and you have to. That's why they say you need roughage to push things out.
Yes.
So when you have eaten all that stuff and it's not moving anywhere until something's coming to push it out, I mean, it's moving, but it's not like processing out. You need fiber to push it out, right? So it's gonna sit around, and guess what dead carcass do?
Rots.
If it's in your body and it's not refrigerated, and your temperature is over 97 degrees Fahrenheit, what do you think is going to happen? That's dead carcass. Why you think it smells the way it do? Why you think when you go to the bathroom and poop, it smells the way it do? People always say, oh, poop does stink. Well, you know what? That's fine. I know a poop does stink, but I know my poop don't stink like somebody we eating all that crap, because that's like death coming out their butts, and you can smell it. And that's what your gut is smelling like. So when you get that, your breath and all that stuff is all up in your esophagus, dear. All that bacteria stuff, that slime you're tasting in your mouth at night when you're trying to sleep, and so all that slime when you wake up in the morning. What do you think that is? Bacteria. And some of you really need to floss. Got all that stuff stuck between your teeth.
You going in on them today?
All that stuff stuck in your teeth, dearies. How you expect to keep your breath fresh and health and your mouth healthy and all your glands in the mouth healthy, your taste buds and all these things? How you think you're going to keep it healthy if you're not keeping yourself healthy? All right. So you need to really pay attention to orders. No matter where it's coming from, you pay attention to it. If you blow your nose and that mucus have an order, pay attention. It might be a sinus infection. Who knows? Something is some kind of inflamed there, some kind of pus, inflammation. There's something there. But okay, y'all, make sure, give me a like, man. Give me a like. More love, more love. Yes, Dee, we sure did. Yes, songbird melody girl. I gonna call you when I done up here, no.
Good night, everybody. You're welcome.
Thank you, Lady D. Big up Powerhouse Radio. I see you all, viewers, our listeners. Thank you for being here today, my dearies. Peace and love.